cold. I'd be freezing. Are we recording or are we live? Okay, no. It says it's broadcasting. Where you be? Are you not live yet? Oh, no, it's showing me that it's... Rawr! How's everyone doing tonight? I'm doing okay. I tried to stream Pokemon, and, OBS decided to eat my battery. My battery power. I went, nom nom nom, this is mine. I'm currently under blankets because I'm cold. It is cold. Yeah, so I'm going to read some more Homestuck. I was planning on doing some more yesterday. Yep. I'm in the future now. I'm in the future. I want to travel back to the past. Do another live stream. Anyways, John get trolled by CG in a sane and linear manner. Okay, I got back to you. Are you happy? Sure, I guess. You don't even know it yet, but you are about to start passing out bunnies like they're cheap cigars. It's going to be an embarrassing display. What are you talking about? Yeah, exactly, numbskull. Let's just have our chat, then it can naturally occur to you to be an idiot in the due course of time. Okay, I was sort of mulling it over while looking at all these babies with guns and sitting on ponies and things, and how the reckoning takes them back, and how you said our reckoning starts sooner. Yeah, are you sure it has to start so soon? Can't we delay it? Ha ha ha. It starts in a few minutes, stupid. See that countdown clock over there? You aren't delaying anything. Ah, dang. I guess I better get off this meteor then. Well, I mean, it doesn't happen all at once. First, some small meteors go, then bigger ones spread out over 24 hours or so. It's supposed to be go time when it starts. It's time to hurry up and stop fucking around and kill the boss. Get it? The rock you're on doesn't blast off right away. Too bad, because it would have spared you from making a fool of yourself in a couple of minutes. And more importantly, spared me from having to watch. Okay, well, you keep saying how doomed we are and how all this bad stuff happens sooner, but you never say why. What happens in our game that's different from yours that makes things go badly? Jack Noir. You're like Cat Noir. Meow. I'm just kidding. Basically, they're saying Jack Black. Okay. I just was checking something real quick. Hello, peeps. Hello, viewers. I have any lurkers? What's up? Hello, lurkers. Who is Jack Noir? An agent of Durst who flipped out and rose to power. He killed your Black Queen and King, and now he's in charge. So you don't have him in your game. No, we did, but he was harmless. Actually, he was an ally, sort of. He settled a grudge against the Queen by helping us dethrone and exile her. And then he wound up exiled himself and sort of kept helping us through a command terminal on our old planet. He's kind of a huge asshole, though. But because he took the Queen out of the picture when we got to Skya, we only had one monarch to deal with instead of two. Of course, it was a nasty giant 12 times prototyped Black King that took forever to kill. Just barely in time before the biggest meteors came, but still. I see, so after he got exiled and all that, he came here into our game and caused all this trouble. No, God, Egbert, you were thicker than that hideous joke book you waddle around with. Try to think more abstractly. Think about video games. What's an Earth game you like to play? Name one. Crash Bandicoot? Okay, I don't know what that is, but I have a feeling that it's a really lame example, but that's fine. It's not the point. Let's say you play your bandicoot and I play my bandicoot. They are essentially the same bandicoot, same appearance appearance and design and behaviors, but they are still completely separate bandicoots on separate screens. So we both have our own ass bandicoots to ourselves, the same but different. Our jacks are the same but different too. Same guy, different circumstances and outcomes. Our jack trumps the queen but got no further. Your jack got the best of both of them and is now something higher than a queen or a king. Like an ace? Sure, okay. Okay, I think I get it, but how did he do that? What was different about what we did versus what you did? Frankly, I have no idea what the original thing that tipped the scale was. It is under investigation, but it doesn't really matter. The worst is yet to come for you. Oh no! What is the worst thing? I already told you. Damn it. Oh, hey. Sorry, hold on. This lady is bugging me about something. Yeah, you might as well get it over with and give her the lousy rabbit already. Oh, oh man. I just had the best idea. This is so perfect. A blonde mother and daughter together. This is totally perfect. Perfect for what? Flexing your formidable mental handicap like a fucking heavyweight for the next several minutes? Oh wait, let me check. The answer is yes. It's like that scene in Con Air. I will give her the bunny like I am Nick Cage fresh out of the slammer. Fuck. I wish I had a filthy wife beater on. Oh well. Just ugh. Again, John. You have so many daughters. Oh, it was a flash. Um, basically he reunites with her loving wife and daughter, and a back forward. Oh boy. Oh boy. Psych, there will be a few more pages. By a few more, you mean like 100,000? Hi, map. Yep, I finally got it to work. I had to re-download Streamlabs on my iPod because it was just like, nah, son. I'm tired of this weeb. Oh, blood. Poor Dave. Dave, get trolled by GC. Dave, what's it smell like? What? Your blood. Fuck off. Dave, give it a little taste for me. Tell me what human blood tastes like. I've been so curious. You're the annoying blonde one, aren't you? Yeah. Or blonde one, yes. Terezi is now blonde. I meant to say you are the annoying blind one, aren't you? Yeah. Dave told me about you. God, too many Daves. It's like this big asshole and cool guy party. But someone forgot to invite all the cool guys. Man, I'm telling you, your burns I'm telling you, burns like that are unreal. Where do you even get a burn that's that sick? I bet you can't wait to be a useless piece of shit all day and fall down all these burns. No, you messed that up. Dave, is this you? Totally. Uh. Did you try to draw shades on his face and miss? What's even the what's even the point? He's already wearing shades. It's so perfect. That is you. That is so you. Hee. This is moronic. Dave, tell me what your blood smells like, or I'll make another one, and I know these hurt your feelings. I don't know what it smells like or tastes like, but I sure as hell know what it looks like a fucking symphony on my retinas. Shit is beautiful, like a little vermilion picnic on my hands. Every day I open my eyes, I find poetry in even the simplest things. Just one of those little joys in life that you take for granted, the miraculous gift of vision. Dave, check it out. I figured it out. This has got to be you. Oh god. Beautiful. Kid Chameleon. I could give myself a hernia trying to be as big a douche as that guy. I could try, but it would wind up like a motorcycle stunt gone horribly wrong. My broken body would flop and tumble around like a rag doll. Oh god, I can't breathe. And yet, as much as that guy's the tooliest dude I've could ever hope to meet, he and I would still get along famously, cause we could both see. Just him and me having a sea party like a couple of eagle-eyed bros peeping shit up until the wee hours. Dave, can I come to your sea party? I guess, but you'll have to be careful not to stumble around, bumping into all the gorgeous masterpieces hanging around everywhere. God, so beautiful to look at with my perfect eyesight. Can I like the paintings? Yeah, that's fine. Jay, get trolled by AT. Adios, Toradora, began. Torador. I'm sorry, Toradora. Toradora. I'm sorry. Torador began trolling garden gnostics. Jade, hi, is your robot nearby? Where can you type because you are asleep? Oh, yes, it appears so. Okay, in that case, are you having a pleasant nap? I guess I have been pretty busy here. I've had to stay asleep for a long time because John is supposed to wake up soon, but he just won't wake up. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be the one to wake him, but I don't know what to do. Huh? Oh, sorry, I was looking to see if I could see him be awake in the future, but I can't see in his dreams or anything. Oh, well, thanks for trying, but you will wake up soon, it looks like. So maybe this means you have success. I hope so. What am I doing when I wake up? Goodness, there's so much going on, and there is a lot of trouble that you are in. Oh no. But what it comes down to is that you don't have much time anyways. This is your last day before you make the riff. And then I can't see what happens after that anymore, which is okay with me because, to be honest, seeing your whole big confusing future and past is kind of overwhelming. Yes, I know what you mean. It's so complicated and I don't even know what I should be accomplishing. I think using these gadgets and things and my timeline advantages to play pranks on you. That sounds like it would be fun, but you guys never even played pranks on me. You were always just kind of mean. Sorry, I think the idiotic thing about trolling is if you use it to troll people, I think you are just as likely to get trolled yourself, maybe even more badly. Which I think is what is going on here just between you and me. Well, I know I haven't trolled you guys or not. Yeah, no, but you sort of. You sort of are. My friend is going crazy. He wants to talk to you. He left you a message a long time ago on your timeline to talk to him when your robot blows up. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about that. Does it really blow up, or was that another trick? I don't know. I can't see it blow up in your future. Not on screen, I mean. There are lots of explosions all the time anyway. Too many explosions. You could ask me in the future. Okay, I will ask. Okay, you said yes, it did blow up, and you talked to him, and then you said he was actually a pretty nice guy, which I thought was weird. Is he not a nice guy? Not really. Well, maybe he's just been through some tough times. Maybe we should give him the benefit of the doubt. For whatever it's worth, I think you're a pretty nice guy too. Okay, thank you. Also, you seem to be the only one who ever thinks to talk to me while I'm asleep. Why is that? I guess that it makes sense because you have a robot to let you say things that happen on Prospect, and I'm curious because the only time I ever had a fun playing this game was when I was asleep, but now all our dream selves are dead. Oh no, dream souls can die? Yeah, I never knew that, or even thought about it. I guess it makes sense though. Yeah, so enjoy your nap while it lasts. Bye. Oh, Tavros. E. Oh, the working. Cause I wanna work, and I wanna and I'm sorry. Uh, cold, itchy, itch, eh, e. Okay, thing. Okay, Rose, get trolled by GA. Oh my god, all the trolls. Hello again. We are friends. Are we friends yet? At this point in time, I would speculate that if we were not by now, then it is probably not to be pardoned. Furthermore, which Rose have you chosen to be this time? The stupid Rose, the smart Rose? I'm a little busy. It sounds like you are attempting to be the smart Rose this time. Please take note of the subtle scorn underlining the selection of the word attempting. Smart Rose should get a kick out of that. Smart Rose is all about subtle scorn, isn't she? That sounds about right. Where's Dumb Rose doesn't capitalize letter even when discussing the proper names of human monsters in Earth cinema. I think you should establish a greater commitment to a single role playing scenario. Honestly, I was looking forward to playing along and reading your Dom Rose script for our next conversation, but it turned out there was a perfectly logical explanation for it all. Imagine my disappointment. Well, I imagine yours once you finally catch on. I suddenly don't understand anything. What are you talking about? I love to explain in detail and cause some sort of time paradox, but you see, and this revelation may be as startling as any. I'm a little busy. I believe I understand it was I who did something to provoke your scorn in a previous conversation, one which I have not yet had. I have not had yet. Yes, that is definitely a conclusion you have just now drawn. That's the only thing left to do is write out the next several conversations while you maintain that understanding, and while I maintain the chilly facade you have grown to so enjoy from Smart Rose, which shouldn't be too difficult because, have I mentioned, I am busy. Goodbye. Fine. Dave, keep getting trolled by GC. Eh, eh, eh. Boop, 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 boop. Boop. Boobies. Dave, I finally got it. Oh hell. I figured it out once and for all. This is you. Oh god. Dave and bro forever. Back to the future. Beautiful. Lots of laughing. That's pretty amazing. Oh god, it's so perfect. Just say cool dude and his bro right there, adventuring through time and playing pinball and bro having together. Tell me that isn't fucking perfect. Hey, speaking of which, where is my bro anyway? Haven't seen him at all since I got here. Dave Sprite doesn't know. You can see everything that goes on, right? Or, like, smell it or whatever. How does that even work? How do you use a computer and know what's going on? It doesn't make sense. My face doesn't make sense. Dave, your face doesn't make. Damn it. Ha ha. But actually, your face does make sense to my nose and my tongue. I'm sorry, Dave, that you will never experience the sensory boutique that I enjoy. That I enjoy every day. That Is that a 3 or an E? As a myself in like a warm and comfy bathrobe in case a warm and comfy bathrobe made of flavor and melody. Oh, okay. So the dumbest and most far-fetched explanation imaginable. Okay, I got it. Anyway, I don't know where your bro is. As far as I could tell, you never see him again between now and the rift. Too bad he won't be around to bail you out again like he did when you entered. Man, don't remind me about that. It's so embarrassing. It's okay, I won't tell John about it. I know that's what you're worried about. Okay, cool. But look, you don't need to be upset about not having your bro to lean on anymore. Who's upset? About time the dude gave me a little space. Blah. Okay, whatever you say, but that's not the point. The point is I will help you instead, Dave. Is that cool? I guess. I know everything that's going to happen to you. I could tell you before it happens so you could be ready and not have to go back in time and get killed all the time and stand on a toilet looking at your own blood for 10 minutes. Alright, so what's next? First you go through the gate, and then you go through then and when you go through you will go to another place in your wild cherry lava land, and you will quickly meet some friendly crocodiles. They will try to eat you, but that is just their way of being friendly. You shouldn't be scared. Why would I be scared? Dave, please, you are crying like a little boy. It it's 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 is happening right here in front of my nose. Your tears taste delicious, kind of like something you wouldn't know about. A troll delicacy called cotton candy. We have cotton candy, dumbass. Dumpass. Color her surprise. Oop. Are you gonna play? Yay. Oh god. Flip. Flip. Oh. Flip it. Flip it. Oops. Yeah. Loading. End of Act 4. Yay. I'm into Act 5 now. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Oh boy. Rose, Egress, this is my final entry. My co-players and I have made every earnest attempt with the occasional relapse to play this game the right way. I have been meticulous in documenting the process to help our peers and successors through the trial should we fail. In my hubris, I believe these classes are regulated to the earthbound, but in even this quaint suspicion, I was in error. Our otherworldly antagonists have assured us of our inevitable failure repeatedly, while the gods whispers corroboration in my sleep. I believe them now. I just blew up my first gate. I am not sure why I did it, really. I am not playing by the rules anymore. I will fly around this candy-coated rock and comb the white sand until I find answers. No one can tell me our fate can't be repaired. We have come too far. I jumped out of the way of a burning fucking tree, for God's sake. I have used a spell to rip this walkthrough from Earth's decaying network and sealed it in one of the servers floating in the furthest ring. The gods may disperse the signal throughout the cosmos as they wish. Perhaps it will be of use to past or future species who, like us, have been ensnared by Skya's malevolent tendrils. In case it wasn't clear, magic is weird. Pardon my egress. You are on your own. Rose Lalonde. Oh no. Oh no. Hours in the future. The war-weary calls another broken planet home, another cloth his garb, land in rags fit for the wayward. The villainy becomes a vagabond. The recent past is recalled. An accursed mascot is located among fallen brethren, its visage revealed. A rag of souls drifts from the heavens, its owner a mystery. A boy finds a dead friend, her ring recovered. The boy sees himself in a cloud, his destination revealed. Hours in the future. A mistress becomes a mendicant. The recent past is recalled. A communication device is borrowed, a rendezvous arranged. The slayer is summoned, the collateral presented. The jewel is beckoned, the bargain honored. The boy finds the castle, his courier's paths cross. The mail is delivered and obligation satisfied. The package is open, letters read. John, from what I heartfelt, you've been through a bit of an adventure by the time you're reading this. That's so great. I love adventure, and I would bet my bottom boonbug you do too. I think we are birds of a feather, John. I am pretty eager to meet you. Oh, yeah, I should have mentioned we are going to meet someday. I hear you like movies. Is that right, John? I love movies too. Have you ever seen Weekend at Bernie's? So freaking hilarious. It's hard to talk to Jade about movies because she doesn't really know about movies, but I'm sure you know that. Boring. Just kidding, Jade. You know I love you and I think you are a blast. Oh, speaking of Jade, we spent quite a lot of time working on this present for you. It was a big team effort. Okay, I had to do quite a lot of arm twisting to get her to go along with helping me make such an oddball present for you, and so well in advance. But I had my arm sort of twisted myself to get this going in the first place. But then she came around to the idea because she could see the future. Pretty amazing if you ask me. It will all be clear later. Gazooks. With all this arm twisting, I've been getting a good workout. We should wrestle when we meet John. I love to wrestle, but I don't get a chance to wrestle with anyone that much. Do you like to get into fisticuffs, John? Scrums and whatnot? Me too. Anyway, you should listen to Jade from here on out, John, uh, because she sure seems to know what's best for you. Whatever your adventure throws at you, I'm sure she'll tell you you can handle it. She believes in you. There's another page to this letter. Jake. There is another letter from a different author. Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday. Even though it's super late and wait. Oh, kicking Christ in a dirty diaper. I almost forgot to mention what's in this box. Sorry, this shit's so small. I mean, obviously, it's small contents. Rilo de Zerniger quills of Echidna. Happy birthday, John. Even though it's okay, dear John, happy birthday. Even though it's super late and you probably went through a lot of trouble to get it, I really hope this present cheers you up. You looked so sad while you were reading my letter, which is to say the one you are reading now. I can explain. You see, when I go to sleep in my dreams, I wake up on the moon of a planet called Prospect. By now you must know about this place. I have lived there in my dreams most of my life, and I have made so many friends over the years, and you were there too, but you were asleep. Um, The fact that you are awake now, I think, means all my friends are in trouble and you are awake because it is your job to help them. We will both help them, but I know these things because while I was on the moon, whenever it passed through Skya, I could see lots of things in the clouds. The past, the future, stuff about our friends, and stuff about you. Now that you are awake and apparently at the center of Skya, wow, you should be able to see stuff in the clouds too. Maybe you already have. But about this present, my pen pal helped me work on it. He included a letter too. He's really funny and silly. I like him a lot, and I think you would too. It took a long time between the two of us, and I'm sure the present looks like a fun and completely ridiculous thing to get, but it is also really important. You are getting it exactly when you need it most. Maybe that's hard to believe, but it's true. I saw it happen already. I don't see everything, John, and I definitely don't know everything that's going to happen, but when I do know something, I always try to do my best to help people in the future. When I am supposed to, that is. You'll get the hang of it. John, I'm really looking forward to seeing you when you wake up. It's been nice playing with my prospecting friends and all, but also kind of lonely knowing you were in the other tower sleeping and having lousy dreams. I'm not sure where I am when you are reading this, but I am sure I'll make it down to where you are soon. Geez, how did you get down there? Oh well, I'll find out. I can't wait to fly around the moon with you and show you all my favorite places. It will be so much fun. Heart, Jade. I said boop. Da boop. Le boop. Bibbity bobbity boop. John is crying. Ah, scheisse. A boy's grief has interrupted his ring sought. What? The toy has taken a new master, the tactician, a misstep. Check. Hours in the future. A regulator becomes a renegade. The recent past is recalled. A temple is fled and soon revisited. A nearby laboratory is also revisited. Its satellites dispatched. A sleeping boy is found, rumbling ominous. The lab is in flight, its exit inoperative. Another public service makes a sacrifice, a citizen's safety secured. A tyrant is retreating, a battleship landing. A grandfather mourns, a family tradition honored. Oh no, Jade's been stuffed. A queen mourns, a kingdom bid farewell, hours in the future. Her journey through the windswept must be walked alone. Her entourage bid farewell. A king becomes a questent. And then years. Boop. A key is employed. A command station repaired. There's another cloud. And inside a dark laboratory unused for years. And inside a fourth wall, pilfered from a bureaucrat's office and absconded with years ago. It isn't turned on, but if it was, this is almost certainly what we would see. Recap, too. Oh boy, another recap. Picking up from where we left off, I typed a really long recap, then some other stuff happened. GC Gallows Calibrator helped John fly to the second gate, which took him to Rose's world. Land of Light and Rain, I think it was. Yeah. Hold on, my lips are chapped. Blankies, worms, must be warm. I'm sorry. That was weird. Okay. He crashed into Rose's room where he found her asleep. He snooped through her room and Dave tricked him into giving him the code to duplicate Rose's writing journal. John opened the package Rose made for his birthday. It contained the bunny from Con Air, the same one John got from Dave, but older and dirtier, and modified with Rose's knitting. She had the bunny since she was very young. John leaves Casey the salamander, Bubbles of Viceroy Von Salamancer in the room. He briefly speaks with G.A. Grim Auxiliatrix from Rose's computer and pretends to be Rose. She believes he is, triggering a convoluted series of conversations between her and the real Rose, in both the past and future in no particular order. GA gets help with her computer from TA Twin Armageddons and time to see Rose at her computer having woken up. Before she woke up, Dream Rose was awake on Dursa's moon. She now had memories from her future self's doomed alternative reality. She flew to Dave's dream tower and got his attention with a ball of yarn, causing real Dave to fall asleep. They had a dream dance party. Dream rose through a dream cow out the window. Bro's rocket board caught Dream Cow. AR followed the board and cow to the transportalizer on Durst, which led to a meteor lab in the Vale. Meanwhile, on LO, Land of Light and Rain, Rose's mom defeated a huge monster. The pony, Maplehoof, followed her and collected the grist windfall. Both mom and the pony then transported to the meteor lab. John's dad found a clean hat John had deposited into a parcel Pix's. Dad followed Jade's grandpa, who was carrying John's Sassaker book, into the ruins. They both transported to the meteor lab too. Meanwhile, John used the grist collected by the pony to make a normal-sized version of a giant hammer, Fear No Anvil, which Dave Sprite gave him the code for. Dream Rose saw John on Dream Dave's computer and woke up. She went out to see him, but he had already blasted off. He took the mutant kitten, Vodka Mitini, Dr. Meowgan Spengler with him. John found the ruins that Mom and the pony went into. He went in and killed some powerful monsters with his new hammer. He transported to the meteor lab as well. In the lab, he found no one except the pony. Some other stray items were on the floor. Dad's dirty hat, the Sassaker book, Dream Cow. He found some apparatus used to genetically engineer foot soldiers and agents for the white and black armies from chess piece DNA. He also found a junior ectobiologist's lab suit and a series of terminals much like those the exiles would find in the far future. He would use this apparatus to create paradox clones of himself, his friends, and their guardians. Meanwhile, AR served Bro's rocket board to a different meteor containing the frog temple that would later root itself near Jade's island. Inside, he found the same time capsule she would find later. He also found some more lab equipment used for ectobiology. This equipment would soon be used to create Beck, a mutated combination of the genes from an ordinary dog in the early 20th century and the DNA code in one of Rose's journals. AR hides in the lab when he hears one of Jack's henchmen, the Draconian dignitary DD is carrying Rose's duplicated journals, which he stole from Dave, and Dave's beta, which was used as a bookmark. He discards the beta into the time capsule. Millions of years later, from the capsule's perspective, Jade would retrieve that beta and use it to connect with Dave, allowing him to enter the medium. Dave created the journal duplicates after an extensive alchemy binge. Rose had a similar alchemy session, and both kids upgraded their weapons and gear. Rose made a pair of needle wands crossed with her grimoire and took up the art of dark magic. She used this magic to burn her journal, thus destroying the genetic code. She was advised to do so by the gods of the furthest ring, whom she was now able to communicate with in her dreams. The gods live far beyond the veil and advise the children of the moon of Durst and serve as the counterpart to the role Skya plays for the children of Prospet's moon. They deemed the code, which would inevitably be used to create Beck, to be dangerous. Dave decided to destroy his copy too, but when he went back to his room, he discovered they were stolen. He also found his own dead body, which apparently was him from the very near future, attempting to go back in time and stop the thief, DD. Dave decided not to attempt any more time travel and disposed of the body. A GC, Gallus Calibrator, discussed the matter with him and pledged to help him by telling him his future along the way, so that he would not have to face the death of more future selves or suffer the sort of embarrassment he went through while entering the medium. Previously unseen, the way Dave entered the medium was as follows. As the large meteor was beating down on his city, he climbed the radio tower on top of his building with his broken sword in hand to reach the nest built by the crow sprite. The sprite guarded the egg, which, unknown to Dave, simply needed time to hatch before he could enter. The sprite pecked his head and he fell. He was saved by Bro's rocket board. Meanwhile, Bro was on top of the meteor, riding it as it descended. He used his sword to chop it in half, splitting it into two pieces, diverting the initial impact from their building to two separate impact sites. He thus bought a little more time for the egg to hatch, which it did, just before their location was consumed by the blast. On Prospect's moon, PM prepared to depart for the battlefield at the center of Skya to seek the king's counsel on what to do with the queen's ring. She was tailed by another of Noir's lackeys, the courtyard droll. CD picked her pocket and stole the ring. PM departed via shuttle to Skya. Dream Jade then clobbered CD and recovered the ring. One ring to rule them all. She tried it on, but its power has no effect on humans. Later, CD would travel to the battlefield and continue tailing PM. The battlefield is a planet at the center of Skya that undergoes a transformation with each player that enters the medium, and each new prototype kernel introduced. It starts as a simple 3x3 chessboard with two kings in perpetual stalemate, and expands to a larger board and more exotic collection of pieces with the first player entering. Then it become a much larger cube with the second player, and then a even larger sphere with oceans, trees, mountains, and pastures with the third. It presumably will transform again with the fourth. The armies of the Black and White Kingdoms duel. Their soldiers are airlifted from meteor facilities in the Vale to supply the manpower. Enormous mutant chest-like monsters stalk the landscape. The two kings command their armies from the field. They each have a scepter that serves a similar purpose to the queen's ring. When activated, a scepter causes a king to be a giant and bear the prospects of all the prototypings. A king is able to deactivate a scepter, to hand it off to another so they will not be affected in that way. When the Black King captures the White King's scepter, the reckoning begins. The reckoning sends all the meteors in the Vale towards Skya in stages. First the small ones, then gradually the bigger ones over a 24-hour period. There was a war-weary Velian who on the battlefield who was a simple farmer and was tired of the conflict. WV united a band of soldiers from both armies to lead a rebellion against the Black King. Before they could attack the king, Jack Noir, now empowered by the Black Queen's ring, intercepted the coup. He destroyed the king's scepter and killed the king. Jack then killed the entire rebellion army, sparing only WV. Perhaps to leave a survivor to tell the story, or perhaps out of respect for a fellow mutineer. Only he knows. Meanwhile, PM met with the White King. He disabled his scepter and gave it to her along with his crown. PM now had the crowns of the White King and Queen and the White Scepter, but discovered she had misplaced the White Queen's ring. Jack's muscle, the hegemonic brute, had been tailing the White King. HB then followed PM and attacked her. She dropped the scepter off a cliff. She would regroup and chop off HB's head with the Regis sword. Jack gave her to kill the White Monarchs. CD, who had been tailing both of them, recovered the White Scepter and destroyed and delivered it to Jack. Jack used it to initiate the reckoning and would proceed to go on a more extensive rampage, devastating the battlefield and Prospect. Back in the meteor lab, John began the ectobiology session, which appeared to have been prepared for him in advance by the Guardians who had just been there. The 4 monitors were all locked onto the kids' guardians at certain points in time, each on the day of one of the kids' birth. On Jade's birthday, Nana was locked onto it in John's neighborhood by the Betty Crocker factory. The meteor carrying baby Jade crashed into the factory and destroyed it. Her grandpa, the owner of that factory, would adopt her. John's dad witnessed and would spend years investigating. On Dave's birthday, Grandpa was locked onto while he was on his yacht pioneering the island for the first time. He was sailing with baby Jade. Overhead there was the meteor carrying baby Dave, which would crash into Bro's favorite record shop. On Rose's birthday, Bro was locked on to as he stood over the crater where he would find baby Dave. He would give him a tiny pair of pointed shades. Overhead there was a meteor carrying baby Rose who would land in a lake and destroy it. Rose's mom would retrieve and adopt her. Months later, on John's birthday, Mom would bring Rose to John's neighborhood to investigate the destruction of Grandpa's factory and related stellar phenomenon. The target was locked on her. Dad came out of the family joke shop to greet her, leaving Nana inside. The meteor carrying baby John destroyed the shop, killing Nana. Dad would adopt John, and Rose's mom disappeared. Dad retrieved her scarf and filed the clue away for his ongoing investigation. John attempted, unwittingly, to purify all 4 guardians, but once removing them from those moments would have caused a paradox. He instead paradoxified their ghost slime imprints. The slime was collected into 2 pairs of containers. One pair collected Nana and Grandpa's slime. The other pair collected Mom and Bro's. The device then created baby paradox clones of the 4 guardians. These babies would then later be sent back in time to become those guardians themselves. Once those 4 clones were created, another sequence activated. The 2 pairs of slime tubes emptied into vats below. The Nana Grandpa slime mixed together, and separately the Mom Bro slime mixed together as well. An additional 4 paradox clones were created from those 2 slime concoctions. Baby John and Jade were created from the Nana Grandpa slime. Baby Rose and Dave were created from the Mom Bro slime. Those 4 babies would also go back in time to become the 4 kids via meteors, in the sequence and on the dates listed above. All 8 babies would each ride their own meteors launched from the veil after Jack started the reckoning, and into the defense portals deployed by Skya to protect itself. The defense portals each lead to Earth, as Skya defends itself in a way by sacrificing Earth. While most meteors are sent to the time period when the kids began the game, many led to a number of different time periods. Some 13 years prior to the game used by the kids, some nearly a century prior used by Nana and Grandpa, some millions of years ago used eventually by the Frog Temple meteor, and some to the far future used by the Exiles. And all 8 of them would travel with an object or animal. John with his Sassacre book, which would become the much older looking family heirloom stored in Dad's safe, with Nana Sprite's inscription to John on it. Rose with the dirty bunny Dave gave John for his birthday. Dave with the pony Maplehoof. Jade with the knit repaired bunny Rose got John for his birthday, which Rose cherished since birth. Nana with Dad's dirty hat. Mom with mutiny Meowgon. Grandpa with 2 flintlock pistols, which older Grandpa left behind for him in the lab, which would eventually both wind up in Jade's room. And Bro with Dream Cow, which would later be fitted with a new personalized shirt and would become Real Cow. the same doll that would haunt Dave's waking life and consequently his dreams. All of these babies and their items would automatically be transported to their own meteors at the onset of the reckoning. John made absolutely sure to give Baby Rose and Jade their bunnies when he saw an opportunity to reenact a scene from one of his favorite movies, which is much to the dismay of a watching CG carcinogenesis geneticist. While AR was in the Frog Temple lab, he would see more of young Nana and Grandpa Story. On 4/13/1910, exactly 99 years prior to John's birth, baby Nana's meteor destroyed a bakery owned by Betty Crocker. Nana was adopted by Crocker's husband, Colonel Sassacre, and taken to live in his mansion. 8 days later, Grandpa's meteor destroyed the dog house belonging to Sassacre's dog, Haley. Haley was elsewhere and was unharmed. When Sassacre and Nana went to investigate the crater, Sassacre was shot and killed accidentally with one of Grandpa's pistols. Haley then showed up, who young Grandpa would tend to pronounce Harley due to his speech impediment, and would largely serve as their guardian for the next 13 years, with presumably some parental influence from the wicked Crocker. On his 13th birthday, Grandpa would run off with Harley to find adventure. Nana would stay behind, contended with the Batter Witch, and master the art of baking as well as take up her deceased grandfather's tradition of pranksterism. Harley was locked on to by the Frog Temple's equipment. Dee Dee activated the device and produced a paradox clone of Harley, combined with the controversial meow code to create Puppy Beck. The spectacle terrified AR, leaving a major impression on him. He would recognize Beck's silhouette carved on WV's pumpkin years later. The pumpkin commanded his fear and caused him to surrender. Meanwhile, the grown-up versions of Mom and Dad were on board a flying battleship belonging to Grandpa, who piloted it towards Gaia. Dad gave Mom her long-discarded scar from the day he lost his mother and found his son. The two guardians traded gestures of affection. Jade remained asleep, though, through it all, trying to stay on the moon as long as she could until she figured out how to wake John up. She talked about this with A.T. Adios Torador, who revealed he preferred his dream life on Prospect more than any aspect of the game and regretted all the trolls' dream selves were now dead. Jade expressed surprise at the notion of dream self-mortality. After Jack used the full power of the ring to devastate the battlefield and the two armies, he turned his attention on Prospect, inflicting severe damage the same way. He then cut the chain connecting the moon to Prospect, sending the moon plummeting through the atmosphere of Gaia and breaking up in the process. Dream John, still asleep, fell out of his tower and drifted down ahead of the falling moon. Dream Jade flew to intercept him and spent a moment attempting to wake him before the moon's collision was imminent. At the last minute, she flung Dream John out of the blast radius, but was not able to clear the blast herself. She died. The blast left a massive crater on the battlefield. This was the first thing Dream John saw when he woke up. The death of Dream Jade caused her dream bot to malfunction and explode, destroying her room. Still asleep, Jade fell from her tower as Beck watched from a distance, and an enormous meteor loomed overhead. Elsewhere on Dave's world, land of heat and clockwork, Bro dueled with Jack briefly. It was a stalemate until Bro plunged his sword into the large floating record platform they were fighting on. This released a mysterious energy from the crack. Bro escaped. Water time. Okay. Rose completed her final game FAQs walkthrough entry and used magic to seal it on a server in the furthest ring to be accessed by players in worlds beyond their own. She had destroyed her first gate on a whim and resolved to search for answers to remedy the hopelessness of their doomed session. Meanwhile, Dave entered his first gate, riding into it with his awesome skateboard, Unreal Air. The four exiles arrived on Earth years after its apocalypse, but years before they found their respective command stations. WV wrapped himself in John's dream blanket, which became dirty and unrecognizable over time. He found it along with a Jack-like doll on the battlefield, which formerly sat in Dream John's bedroom, haunting his dreams. WV ripped it apart. PM wrapped herself in a Prospect banner, which too faded in time. AR wrapped himself in caution tape using his own supply as well as some fresh rolls he was lucky enough to discover near the ruined frog temple in one of Grandpa's old crates. This was after he escaped that same temple in the medium and found the meteor lab in which John slept. That meteor then took off for Skya via the Reckoning. AR taped John to the rocket board and cast him off before the meteor went through a portal, thus AR became exiled. WQ exiled herself with an entourage on a royal cruiser and landed on Earth. She departed on a solo quest, leaving her people to their own devices. She discovered her command station, a large egg broken in two pieces, and the two large craters made by Dave's split meteor. She used a key to repair the egg station and teleported to the present location of the exiles. The frog ruins at night 413 years after the apocalypse of Earth. On the battlefield, Dream John found Dream Jade's body. He was sad and confused and took her ring as a keepsake. Later, Grandpa would land his ship on the battlefield, find and recover her body, and use it to create a stuffed trophy as a memorial, as per the proud family tradition. He would depart in his ship and leave Mom and Dad behind. John saw a vision in a cloud directing him where to go. It was a castle where he would rendezvous with PM. PM, after beheading HB, used his radio to summon Jack. He came and she traded the two white crowns for the green box. And Jade's present to John. He appeared pleased to uphold the bargain, either out of the misunderstanding that he was still under control of its contents or out of respect for PM's tenacity and brutality in pursuing the prize. Only he knows. PM delivered the package to John and then left, not thrilled by the trials caused by its recovery. John opened it to find letters from Jade and her pen pal, who helped her make the present for him over several years. The gift was the pen pal's idea, and he himself was coerced into the plan by someone else. The box contained a modified version of the stuffed bunny John had received for his birthday twice already. It was the same knit repaired bunny John sent back in time with baby Jade, and she presumably kept it as a cherished childhood toy ever since. It was now upgraded with mechanical parts, fully mobile, and autonomous. It was also included with 4 powerful weapons: the Royal Derringer broken sword, the quills of the Echidna, wands, Ahab's crosshairs rifle, and the warhammer of Zillihu hammer. Each was shrunken down to be bunny size. As John mourned Jade's death over her letter, he was interrupted by Jack's sword. Jack was after the ring, but the heavily armed mechanical bunny intervened, recognizing John as his new master. Jack, knowing the danger of the toy, was forced to retreat. Finally, a cloud showed John what he was supposed to do with the ring. It was held by a mysterious black hand. In the far future on Earth, the exiles gathered around Exile Town. WQ asked WV for something. WV revealed he had been storing the complete quad prototyped ring in the sleeve of his trusty knife. It had been there all along, much to Serenity's surprise. And then I started working on Act 5. Yay. Act 5. I'm going to read a little bit into Act 5 and then call it. Elsewhere in Paradox Place, we examine another planet forgotten by time, but we will strive to remember what was this planet's name. Alien. Ha ha ha, nice one, Smarty Pants. Really hilarious, but let's get real here. No more clowning around. Try again. I have no idea what that said. This is much better, in fact. So this says Alternia. I don't know what the other ones say. That is much better. In fact, it is, as it happens, your guess is precisely correct. What are the odds? We examine the planet Alternia. Somewhere on this planet there is a young troll. I've been. Yay, Carkles. This young troll stands in his respite block. It just so happens that today, the 12th by lunar perigee of the 6th dark season's equinox, is the day of this young troll's larva awakening, also known as his wriggling day. 6 solar sweeps ago, he was given life. It is only today he will be given a name. 6 Alternian solar sweeps, for a convenient reference, is equivalent to 13 Earth years. Earth, also for a convenient reference, is a planet that does not yet exist. What will the name of this young troll be? No. You answer something particularly derogatory, and the guy gets fed up with your shenanigans in record time. This guy has a lot of troll pals, and their adventures are going to be quite extensive and convoluted, to an even greater degree than one perhaps may be accustomed to. He thinks that if you think that we have time to drag out every little gag and expected pattern along the way, you've got another thing coming. He thinks you should cram that sobering understanding into your chitinous windhole and tamp it down hard with your ugly, stupid looking. Ugh. Go back. Your ugly, stupid looking cartilage nub. Your nose? Try again. Your name is Carcac Vantis, and as previously mentioned, it is your wriggling day, which is barely even worth mentioning. It is an anniversary, if anything, to lament the faults of your existence, of which there are assuredly plenty. Equally plenty and somewhat related to the topic are your interests. You have a passion for ridiculously terrible romantic movies and rom-coms. You should be really embarrassed for liking this dreadful cinema, but for some reason you aren't. You like to program computers, but you are notoriously pretty awful at it. Your programs invariably damage the machines on which they are executed, which is just as well, since you like to believe you specialize in computer viruses. When you mature, you aspire to join the ranks of the most lethal members of your society, the Threshicutioners. You like to practice with your really cool sickle, but just wind up looking like kind of a doofus by yourself in your room. You like to chat with some of your other troll pals, most of which drive you batshit up the fucking belfry. You have been trying out a new chat client beta called Trollian, and you are not really sure what you think about it yet. Your troll tag is carcinogeneticist, and you speak in a matter that is almost exclusively orny all the time. Later, you will play a game with 5 other friends and go on a big adventure with them. This game, for convenience reference, is the game that does not yet exist, but it will soon. What will you do? Carcat, examine slimy purple pod. It is your Recuperacoon, full of nourishing soap or slime. Every young troll enjoys the cozy embrace of such a vessel each night, and the relaxing ooze help assuage the terrible visions of blood and carnage that plague the dark subconscious of your species. It is so inviting, a few minutes couldn't hurt. Carcat, get in. Okay. This sure is cozy and all, but you can't be napping all day like a chump. Damn it, you're a busy guy. You are sort of a big deal, goddamn slime. Now you have to change your clothes too. What were you thinking? Luckily, all your clothes are the same. Trolls think fashion is stupid. To Kanaya, Carcat. Carcat, examine movie posters. Okay, it's time to get serious here. Sweet troll Gigas. Let's get real and get down to some major business. You space out and get caught up reading the titles of the films for about 5 minutes. Wow, these movies are great. You don't care what anyone says. Pure magic. Is that John Cusack? Cusack? John Cusack. The thing that most people don't realize is that John Cusack is a universal constant. Jesus. This movie, okay, this one even you have a hard time defending, but still, it's so good. The best thing about it is how Sandler doesn't make you want to punch anything. Like, nothing at all, really hard or anything. Carcat, capture log sickle. You grab your trusty sickle with your encryption modus. To retrieve it, you'll need to hack the code to open the card vault left behind. This will obviously prove to be a completely ridiculous and untenable way of managing an inventory, and led to a great many follies. Later on, you would swap your modus with your hacker friend, a guy who, unlike you, happens to be competent with programming. It would only make sense, but for the time being, it makes your life kind of a nightmare. There are so many stupid things that happen because of this modus. So many, you just have no idea. Carcat, take card vault. God damn it. You hear some unhappy grumbling through the hole below. This was not the coolest thing you have done yet. Carcat, examine large book. You're not sure. You make quite sure not to capture log it and simply pick it up and read it. ATH, a handbook for the imminently deceased. Prepare, chapter 1. Prepare your ATH file, dig your grave. ATH, this additional graves execute null this die. A bone to pick. For death begins with life's first breath, and life begins at touch of death. Troll Will Smith. It is a thick programming manual called ATH, a handbook for the imminently deceased. ATH is an unsufferable language to work with. The logic is composed of nothing but infinite loops, or at best loops of an effectively interminable construction. The above page is the intro section, documents the simplest possible ATH code structure. Any code deviating from this basic structure will not compile. You have a whole bunch of code samples you've been messing around with on your computer. It's been frustrating at best and deliberating to your machine at worst. Carcat, leave your room. You step outside your receipt block. onto one of your hive's numerous extraterrestrial landing slats. You were allowed to design this hive when you were younger, after you emerged victorious from your trials deep in the brooding caverns. You have lived here with your custodian ever since. That's funny. Red. It's almost as if your people have placed great cultural importance on teaching children to become architecturally adept while very young. It has been this way since ancient times. No one seems to know why that is. Getting to build your own hive at a young age using whatever rendering and design you choose likely has left you jaded to the notion of customizing your abode. You certainly wouldn't get all that worked up about a game that happened to allow you to do such a thing. At least not for that reason. I'm gonna read like 3 more pages. The Friggle Fraggle was that? Carcat examine neighborhood. The long rings are empty. Blood skims the voids in your porous cranial plates as if grazing the hollow of a thrush stem, or say an abandoned cocoon. A sour note is produced. It's the one agitation plays to make its audience squirm. It is your 6th wriggling day, and as all 5 preceding it, blah, 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 blah. Look. You don't have time for fancy poetry. It's almost as useless as those arm swing flappy things on mailboxes, assuming you even knew what those were, which you don't. Trolls don't have mail. Mail is almost as useless as poetry to them. Poetry is the swing arm flappy dealy of words, and mail is the red tilty lever doodad of giving people shit. Frankly, you don't know about things skimming voids or grazing hollows or whatever. You've got ambition. You were meant to be a big shot, to be in charge of something huge and really important, and to be totally ruthless about it. You just haven't found the dominion in which you're destined for greatness yet, or even a vague concept of it. You haven't found your purpose, but you will tonight. You stew in your own impotent aggravation. The cool dust breeze during the dark seasons. It remains dusk for most of the day. It can stay dark for many bilunar perigees at a time, but even if it didn't, you would still have this feeling. You have a feeling it's going to be a long night. Okay, so this is going to be the last page. Carcat, go back inside. You head back into your block and hit your computer station. No word from any of your loudmouth pals. No news is good news. Sweet music to your auricular sponge clods ears. Okay, so I'm gonna end it here. So tomorrow we will pick up on this lovely page. I'm just getting it ready for tomorrow so I can read it. Thank you guys all for stopping in, listening to me read Homestuck. I'm in Act 5, and then I have Act 6 and 7, which I can't remember if Act 5 was long. It's been a while. I know Act 6 and Act 7 were pretty long. And then there's the epilogues, which is gonna be fun. Yeah, hopefully I could get a little bit farther into Act 5 tomorrow. As of right now, I don't know if it's going to be normal stream time, which my normal stream time for Saturdays and Sundays is at 6. But because of like unpacking and going to be moving stuff, they might be later. So yeah. I'll post information in my Discord. Have a nice evening, and I'm gonna go charge my iPod and like brush my teeth and get ready for bed. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow. Well, read to you tomorrow. Where's the button?